The following presentation is for mature audiences only.
Who are you?
He's a fine man.
All hell is broken loose.
He's a great broadcaster.
He's a very powerful guy.
Absolutely brilliant.
Feared by men, adored by women.
He's a smart boy.
It's patriotic.
It's no big deal.
It's the end of the world. I might as well tell you now. He's a monkey.
And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome in to another edition of The Wild Side with Eric Clark. I am your not at all humble host, Eric Clark, saying thank you for taking time out of your busy day to give my video a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think other people are going to dig it, give it a share. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel and you're following me on all the social media platforms. That way, if there's a song, a band, a video, something you want me to check out, you can hit me up with a DM or leave it in the comment section below. But if you are going to leave it in the comment section below, just do me a favor, give it a cursory read through. If you see that your suggestion has already been made, just leave a like and an I concur. That will help my DJ brain put it into a nice little organized list, and then I can get it into my handy-dandy notebook. I hope that my camera is framing this correctly and it doesn't look bad, but I am actually pointing down to my handy-dandy notebook. I don't want anybody to think that I'm pointing at something differently, so I don't want YouTube to strike me on this one. So thank you to everybody who has been making suggestions and helping me with pronunciations, band histories, geography, culture, things like that. Thank you very much. I'm going into a lot of these totally ignorant, so I appreciate everybody's help with helping me understand who is who and what is what. Before we get started in today's video, I do want to say thank you to Aspen Dental, Connect 200, Music 2C, and Gothic Jewelry. Make sure you click the link below, enter in the promo code, and get your metalhead bling. Today's video is coming from the comment section of a previous video I've done for BAND-MAID. They said, hey, if you want a really great, upbeat, and catchy song, you need to check out this one. So they linked me with a track called Blooming, and that's what we're checking out today. This is Blooming by BAND-MAID. Here we go. Good break right there. Great bass. Great bass line.
Take me somewhere far away. They won't know.
There you go. That is BAND-MAID with Blooming. Absolutely correct. Very upbeat, very catchy track. Once again, this band is so good at proper layers of influence and familiarity. Just an incredible display of proficiency while exuding that influence. So you're hearing all of that in there, right? Like this track for me, what I really like about this track is the overall tone. The overall tone of this song right here, very mainstream. You can see why their audience is growing. This is a song that makes me angry that they don't have a Warped Tour any longer. And I mean a Warped Tour. I don't mean the one-off in this place or one-off in that place. I mean an absolute tour, a Warped Tour. That would fit perfectly because it really does have the rich, thick sound of that early 2000s, mid-2000s, almost a skate vibe, like a Hot Topic, a Journey's kind of a vibe. But the cool part is when Konami, I'm gonna have these names memorized before too long. Konami is really coming in with this, and I was trying to put my finger on it. And someone had made a comment in a previous video about BAND-MAID being really good about making you think you know something, but then you realize that's just them. But this one in particular really had there was a track by Joe Satriani back in the day, like Summertime or Summer Drive or something like that. And it was really reminiscent of that. And I don't mean she sounds like Joe Satriani. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is her guitar playing, and especially that riff and that sound that she was creating with that guitar, was very reminiscent. Back in the 90s, there were a lot of guitar players that would do these summer tracks. They just had a very top-down, sunshiny day kind of vibe to the metal proficiency finger tapping kind of vibe. It still sounded very bright and airy. Joe Satriani, Eric Johnson's Avia Musicom and Cliffs of Dover, that kind of sound. Even stuff that like Steve Vai was doing with David Lee Roth was a very bright metal, and that's what was coming through in that. And of course, the bass player, Misa, I said it a couple of times, that was a really good, thick texture she was creating with that bass. Once again, she's so good at that. She is so good at hiding in plain sight musically. She's a genius at that, at creating these bass lines that weave their way through the song and make appearances like strikes, like a Predator strike. It's just really cool how she does that. And of course, Akane, the drummer, I love watching how she'll go from a really loose method, a really loose technique while playing drums, and then suddenly go into that harder driving controlled grip. She's so good at changing that, and what that does is it changes a lot about the song. It can change the tempo, it can change the attitude, it can change the tone of the song. So I really like watching Akane do that when she's out there and she's, loose-wristed playing, but it still sounds like she's full-handed it. Excuse me. And then she'll change up, and you can hear that change, and I find that brilliant. And of course, Psyche's vocals, I said it in a previous video that the way she's able to sing is violently sexy, and this is an aggressive love song here, and she's so good at singing guileless. There's such an innocence, maybe not innocence, but a grace and elegance, but authoritative. And she's one of few singers that can do that, that's able to be aggressive in the lyrics, be aggressive in the messaging, but still kind of maintaining this tone of not innocence. That's not what I'm saying. And it's not naivete. It's my late wife, one of the things about her that really drew me to her was that she was always trying to see the best in everything. She was always trying to say that no matter how bad somebody or something is, there's always something good behind it. And it's this optimism. It's this hopeful optimism that comes through in her vocals that really make her stand out among other singers of songs like this, and really aggressive and really fast-paced and very guttural, but yet very pillowy. So I really like how Psyche does that. But for this song in particular, what I would really like to point out is Miku, and I had to look down for that. I'll claim to that. So I had a chance to talk to a guy who, if you asked him what he did, he said, I'm a rhythm guitar player. Well, this is a guy who wrote Soul Man, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, Midnight Hour, Knock on Wood. He formed the Blues Brothers. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But he says, I'm a rhythm guitar player. And it's funny because he's a rhythm guitar player in a band without a lead guitar. And when you tell people I'm a rhythm guitar player or they are the rhythm guitar player, it always kind of makes people automatically eschew any dominance that they may have musically. So a lot of times when you say they're a rhythm guitar player, a lot of people feel like that is a supporting role. But what really stands out in the song, and I may have to go back and watch it again and listen to it again, but I think I'm pretty sure I picked up on it the first time. What Miku was doing in this song was connecting all the dots. So the driving force of the song is really the drum and the lead guitar, and they're taking the song in a very forward momentum. But then you have these other two elements in the vocal and the bass that are weaving their own color scheme through the pattern that's moving with this driving force. But what's really adhering them all together and bringing them all together is not just the rhythm instrumental playing of Miku, yes, but her vocals. She's harmonizing in the right places. She's playing rhythm in the right places, and she's doing it very well that it does stand out for me. I find that incredibly gifted to do that in a band, especially when you're talking about a band like this. There's so much power. There's so much energy. And again, this is a very happy band. It's a very energetic band. There's a lot of movement, not just literally, but metaphorically. And in this song particularly, and I have picked up on it in previous videos, Miku is really good at, again, things that may seem tangential at first, all become cohesive through this work that Miku is doing in the song. And I find that just absolutely brilliant, that she's able to almost play double dutch musically with four other highly proficient musicians, and she's able to weave her own color pattern into that spectrum. So very well done. It's a very good song, and it is very catchy. I can see why they're growing and expanding as quickly as they are, and they're getting a large audience. And don't be mistaken, just because the American music industry is kind of vapid and kind of a wasteland doesn't mean that Americans aren't familiar with what's going on out there. We really are. And I find them to be one of the momentous bands that are out there right now. A lot of people are picking up on BAND-MAID. And someone had asked me in a previous video, I think it was the last one I did, if American radio are refusing to play BAND-MAID or not playing BAND-MAID because of a language barrier. And I rebuffed that. I rebuffed that because two reasons. Number one, I know they do songs in English. So that there really isn't a language barrier. If you ask them to do it, they could. They're very talented young ladies. Secondly, 99 Red Balloons. There are Goldfinger. There are a lot of bands out there that have done foreign lyrics, and I think that what you're talking about is promotion, because that's really where radio takes their cue. Radio takes their cue from the relationships they have with record labels, with promoters, etc. So this is really about establishing relationships with those communication companies to get their songs played. But this is a great track. Like I said, it's dripping with the familiarity, but it also has their signature unique tone to it. So again, I don't think the language is holding them up from dominating the American radio airwaves. I think there may be reticence. I think if you speak to older programmers and older music directors, there may be reticence with them as to I don't know if my audience is going to like it. But this is about putting it out there. And I can tell we put it out there, everybody digs them. So for me, that's all the market research I would need. So again, great band, great suggestion. Thank you very much. That was BAND-MAID with Blooming. And again, if you have a suggestion, make sure you're following me on all the social media platforms. That way you can hit me up with a DM. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit me up with a comment below, read through, like, concur. Thank you to Aspen Dental, Connect 200, Music 2C, and Gothic Jewelry. Click the link, enter the code, get your discount. And thank you to all of you. I appreciate and am humbled by all of your kindness, your kind words, and your respect. I am humbled when people reach out and ask me how I'm doing because they haven't seen a video released in a while. So I appreciate that. I do have a day job, and this is why you'll see a couple of videos where I'm wearing the same stuff, because I'll try to knock them out in one day, kind of a thing. So thank you very much for checking with me. And again, thank you for your suggestions, and thank you for your help. Anything I get wrong, anything I'm mistaken about, just make sure you're respectfully educating me down below, and that'll help me grow and help me understand better. So thank you very much for that. And make sure you're looking out for each other. Make sure you're looking out for your neighbor. Try to do at least one good thing a day. I am Eric Clark, and this has been The Wild Side.